Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button and ding the notifications and whatever. Yeah, I thought I'd twist things up a little bit and do that at the beginning instead of at the end. But if you ever listened all the way through on my podcast, how I get to that point, I really don't care if you do any of that. I'm not one of those podcasts that's going to like demand you do that. I mean, it'd be nice. It really doesn't do anything for me. I mean, like, it's kind of fun to see, like, oh, you have so and so number of subscribers, but I don't know. I'm not popular enough yet to the point where I'm making any money off of this, so I don't know. And, if you really like this, do you need like the notification bell thing? I don't know what that's all about. I've never done that, so is it like it dings at you when new content's uploaded? Because fuck that. I hate push notifications. And I imagine you do too. So if there's an option for push notifications, do not do it. Okay? Do not do that. And I mean, I guess you can subscribe. If you like my podcast that much, you could always just, keep checking yourself. But, subscribe to make sure you don't miss an episode. And I don't know if liking does anything either for these things. So, yeah, you do what you want. Just all I ask is listen for at least 30 seconds. Because I think once you hit 30 seconds, it counts as a play. So you don't have to stick for the whole thing. And if this is your first time listening, wow, you're probably all just confused. This is Velvet Al Watches Movies So You Don't Have To, where I, Velvet Al, will watch a movie and tell you what happens so that you don't have to actually watch the movie yourself. It takes almost as long as actually watching the movie, so I don't know. I'd like to think listening to me is more entertaining than actually watching the movie, but that is for you to decide. If you want to take that extra step and actually watch the movie that I watched so you didn't have to, which point you've made my job completely irrelevant and pointless. I've been doing a lot of not so well known movies lately, so I'm gonna switch it up and something slightly a little more known. Because right now, like, my episode on Baby's Day Out is like fucking gangbusters, over 10,000 views. Because people know. Can you hear that? Of course, now he fucking stopped that. That's my little kitty Gomez and his weird bird chirping noises. But yeah, it's hard to kind of get people to, find you when you're doing like an obscure movie. So this week I'm doing Ringmaster, the first and I'm pretty sure only film starring Jerry Springer. I know he had cameos in other movies, but this is like his starring vehicle. And I haven't watched this before, but I did used to own the DVD because I was very big into Jerry Springer show back in the day. So one Christmas, my mom bought me this DVD for, like she figured, well, you like Jerry Springer, here's his movie. And for whatever reason, I never actually watched it, even though it's got Jamie Presley, and she is fucking hot. And you'd think that alone would be enough to have made me watch it, but no. I wonder if she gets naked in this. I hope she gets naked in this, because she is hot. That's kind of really all that matters of why this movie should be watched, because Jamie Presley is hot. It got me to watch My Name is Earl for like 3 episodes. So, yeah. If for some reason you don't know or remember the Jerry Springer show, which it's still on, and his fucking bodyguard has his own spin-off show too. Just kind of complete trash TV. Just basically like having the most ridiculous like guests on that hate each other and get into fights. And what I think is fascinating, if you ever go back and watch the early Jerry Springer shows, it is so different than what you would expect. Like, it would be kind of more like along the lines of like Ricky Lake or some shit. kind of early Oprah-ish, before Oprah got like all the power in the world. And he's just trying to kind of help things along, trying to reunite families. It's trying to do like some good shit while exploiting people. And at some point, like they realized, okay, the episodes where the people get into big arguments, those do good numbers. What if they go from just arguing to fucking beating the shit out of each other? And that's what this. Were you able to hear that? It is so fucking cute. But anyways, so that's what he's really known for, is like the big massive fights that occur. But that's not something that was there from the beginning. Same thing with Gordon Ramsay. If you ever watched like early seasons of Hell's Kitchen, he really doesn't yell that much. Like it's kind of like a small part of the show, and everyone realized, hey, this is what people want to see. Let's fucking amp it up. So I think that's enough of a introduction. So let's get on with Ringmaster, which I think is just a fictionalized take on the Jerry Springer show, starring Jamie Presley, who's so fucking hot. Yeah, I know I probably sound like a creep for like emphasizing that, but it is what it is. So we start off at a trailer park because, of course, it's trailer park trash that shows up on Jerry Springer show. So of course they're gonna just go straight. And Jamie Presley, she's driving to her job while listening to this rap song that samples Living in America. Why didn't they just get Living in America instead? I mean, it's not a great song, but it's better than this fucking like rap song that's like sampled it. And nothing against rap. I like good rap. This is not good rap. So she drives, she's housekeeping at the motel, and she goes into one room, knocks on the door. There's no answer, so she thinks like, okay, they're gone. Let me go clean the room because there's no do not disturb sign on there. But there is a big fat slob who is there. He's like, oh, I guess I didn't hear you. I was in the can. And she's gonna leave, and he's like, you don't have to leave. So she puts the do not disturb sign up on the door, and then gives them a BJ, a blowjob, if you didn't get my drift. Which gives me hope that, Jamie Presley is like the fucking like nicest person on the world if she's randomly giving blowjobs to random guys in motel rooms. Like, part of me wonders like, oh, is this like kind of like a role play that they're doing? Like, oh, hotel maid and random fat slob. I mean, I guess he's not that fat and not that much of a slob, but Jamie Presley, you are like leagues beyond him. Why? I hope you do know him. I could forgive the random blowjob if it was a hot guy. I could understand. This guy, why are you giving him a random blowjob? Now, there's this redneck dude at home watching some dog racing, and his girlfriend, or at least I assume it's his girlfriend, who I'm going to call Redneck Girl number one. Or, wait, no, that was Brunette Redneck Girl, because I'm not going to bother learning her name, even though it would be shorter than Brunette Redneck Girl. But that's the way I roll. Sucker. I don't know what that was about. But she calls him saying like, oh, in the help wanted page there's some jobs that you might be able to get. And he's like, yeah, just bring it home and blah, blah, I'm watching TV. Fucking dickbag. And then over at the motel room, the guy is saying that, his buddy told him to get a room at the top floor because that will get you an awesome blowjob. And Jamie Presley's kind of offended by this, that someone's telling people, but Obviously, you're giving random blowjobs to people on this floor. Maybe she's offended because it's not just the top floor. She will give a blowjob to anyone in the motel. What's this motel again? Where can I find it? Kidding. Or am I? But, so she goes home to her boyfriend and it's like, you know what, fuck this, let's get married. Because I think she's done feeling like a cheap whore, giving blowjobs in motel room. Why did she give a blowjob? I still want to know. Like, was it just for the hell of it? Does she earn extra money from giving blowjobs to guys in this motel room? I don't know. I ask further questions. And then she goes over to brunette redneck girl's house, who I think is the sister of her boyfriend, now fiance. And while brunette redneck girl goes out of the room to do dishes, Jamie Presley starts making out with brunette redneck girl's boyfriend, husband, something. We'll call him douchebag 1. Because, while, I don't condone Jamie Presley fucking macking it on some other woman's man, douchebag is as much to blame here. He didn't push Jamie Presley off, which I would. As hot as Jamie Presley is, I would push her off and be like, I have someone. I love her very much. I am not going to cheat on her, especially not with her in the same fucking house in the other room. But my guess is this is what's going to lead to them appearing on Jerry Springer. Just this convoluted love Roomba trapezoid. Now, the Jerry Springer show comes on the air. They're watching on TV, and, everyone's cheering. This episode is, I'm pregnant with your husband's baby. And, of course, right away it goes into a brawl, and, Jerry! In case you've never seen the Jerry Springer show before, when the fights break out, people always, cheer for Jerry. Which actually is kind of weird when you stop and think about it, because he's not involved in the fight, so why are they cheering him on? They should be cheering the people in the fight on. Like, yeah, fuck him up. Fuck that bitch up for getting pregnant with your husband's baby. And as it goes to commercial, and I'm distracted again from Gomez's bird chirping snores, which has even gotten interested, my other cat, my new cat, Peggy Carter, is like, whoa, what's that sound? And I know that's exactly why you're tuning into this podcast, is to listen to me talk about my cats instead of the movie that I'm watching, so you don't have to. But, so it's going to commercial break, which they would always have, a theme for an upcoming episode, and if you fit that theme, give us a call. And the theme is, you did what with your stepdaddy? Or something along those lines of basically fucking your stepdad. This is 20 years before that became the big thing on Pornhub. But douchebag and Jamie Presley, upon hearing that, look at each other like, uh-oh. So I'm guessing then douchebag is her stepdaddy, which would make brunette redneck girl her mom. And this is kind of confusing me because they all look to be the same age. So I totally would not have seen that coming, that it was her stepdaddy. This is a very weird relationship triangle going on. But brunette redneck girl writes down the number because she's gonna call to get them on. Because I think she knows what's up. Because she goes into the bathroom and starts practicing in the mirror, saying lines like, I can't believe you did this to me, and I find out about it on national television. Which is something I've always said, and many comedians have made this point, so I'm not, breaking any new ground here. But if you're being taken on the Jerry Springer show, you know nothing good is coming. So it's like, What? I wasn't expecting this. You were. Because you went on the Jerry Springer show, so you know some crazy shit was gonna happen. Now there's a black couple going at it, getting it on. Oh, yeah. We don't see anything, so oh no. And discount Jada Pinkett Smith shows up with hair. This is not Appalachia G.I. Jane to Jada Pinkett Smith. Kind of the reason I'm going with that is just because her hair is kind of like on the Gotham show. So that's why I'm going with discount Jada Pinkett Smith, because I can't think of another black girl with that kind of like hair. I probably could if I really spent the time to think about it. But is that something I really want to spend the time to think about? So discount Jada Pinkett Smith is walking in on them because that's her boyfriend. And all the while she's on the phone with the producers of Jerry Springer show. And the producer, she's all excited like, oh yeah, this is going to be a good episode. So I guess like, well, they didn't give him the okay go ahead that you're going to get booked. But I think they're going to get booked. Now, Jerry is with his manager or someone, maybe a producer, some bigwig in a suit, and they go into a diner where, you know, some people love him, like the waitress. She's all like doting on him. And some people hate him, like this guy who just comes up to him and he's like, nothing personal, but your show sucks. You know, you can't win over everyone. But then there's this girl who walks by and like, hey, Jerry, and she flashes him at 14 minutes and 4 seconds, more or less, at the 14-minute mark. So getting close under the wire, but ding, 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 ding. I really should get like a sound effect. This movie passes the Velvet Ale test. And then a waitress comes up to Jerry asking for life advice. Doesn't really give her any. But, I mean, why do you... I mean, I know Jerry has his final thought at the end of every episode, but do you want life advice from Jerry Springer? And then now he's back at taping the show, and I think it's something about, like, twins, and his one twin's girlfriend is cheating on him with the other twin, and she just takes off her shirt and starts shaking her tits and says that the other twin, you know, he's better, lets her do whatever he wants, and lets her have a girlfriend. And another girl comes out stage, and she takes her shirt off and shakes her tits, and the two topless girls start making out. And it is fucking hot. I love this movie. I don't really know what's going on in this movie, but we got topless girls making out. And sometimes that's really all you want out of a movie. So backstage, he's talking to his manager, Jerry is, and he's asking like, oh, how's this gonna do for my political career? Which you might think is a joke, but he was mayor of some town. Because he was a Democrat too. It's kind of weird. Like, it's always like Republicans are like the ones who say like, oh, celebrities should just not get involved in politics. They should keep their mouth shut. Yet most celebrities who get voted in on the Republican ticket. And the Democrats only got Al Franken and Jerry Springer as far as like celebrities that they've elected into office. And Al Franken, okay, I can get it because, you know, he did political humor. He's, you know, a fairly smart guy. Jerry Springer, that is just kind of insane though. Like, but yeah, I'm not going to go further into politics because, you know, you can go wherever you want with it. It's just insanity. And so now, back at the trailer park, the brunette redneck girl says she's got to go out and, you know, she might be back home late because she's got to go to the casino. And as soon as she walks out the door, ooh, baby! Stepdaughter Jamie Presley comes over and sees her stepdaddy and's like, yeah, let's get it on! Which I'm pretty sure is the plot of at least like 50 videos on Pornhub right now. Jamie Presley then goes to try to cash her check at the liquor store, but unfortunately, the name on the check does not match the name on her ID. So apparently the hotel has been fucking it up for a long, long time and they won't fix it. But the liquor store's policy is they can't cash the check because it's not the name on the ID. Which pisses off Jamie Presley, rightly so, but it's got me wondering if this has been an ongoing mistake, then where does she go to get the checks cashed? Like, is it this liquor store normally, and they just have someone else working that isn't aware, like, oh, well, it's Jamie Presley, we know it's her, it's okay. Which, if that's the case, why doesn't she, like, say that, normally they cash my checks. They understand, like, the problem I'm going through. And if it's that she normally cashes it at somewhere else, why doesn't she go to that other place that cashes her check? Eventually at some point, she normally gets her checks cashed. And if it's been ongoing that they've got the wrong name, how is she doing this? Why doesn't she go to where she normally goes and does normally what she does? And she's as angry as I am now. And she tries to hit the cashier lady, and the police come and take her away. Now Jerry's walking around his office with his manager. I think it's his manager. I haven't fully figured out. And all these people are like threatening to sue Jerry. And there's some people that got post-traumatic stress syndrome from attending an episode of Jerry Springer, but they don't want to sue. They want to come on the show and talk about getting post-traumatic stress from the show. Which actually, I think I would watch that episode. Like, wouldn't you then just start freaking out being back on the show? Like, they're fucking liars, aren't they? You got post-traumatic stress from this show. You're not going to want to go back to the show and give yourself even more post-traumatic stress. And then Jamie Presley's been bailed out of jail by her creepy stepdaddy, douchebag, who stole some money from her mom to post bail. Which, wasn't Jamie Presley, like, engaged or something? Why can't her fiance or whatever, like, help get her out? Aside that he probably doesn't have any money either. But Jamie Presley's, like, so, like, excited and glad that he bailed her out that instead of going back to work, which who knows, at this point, maybe her shift was already over. Because did I mention, like, when she went to go cash her check, she was on her lunch break? And that was part of what was driving her crazy, was she only had so much time to get the check cashed. So, I don't know, maybe her boss just gave her the rest of the day off. Like, yeah, we don't think you'll be back in time for your shift. And no, we're not going to bail you out, sucker. But Jamie's so happy that they go back to their trailer and they fuck. But unfortunately, Jamie's mama, the brunette redneck girl, I guess I can just officially call her Jamie's mama, because that's what it is, confirmed that it's her. That's what she is. She comes and she catches them fucking, and they all start slapping each other. And Jamie's mama's like, fuck this. And she goes to another trailer, and I think it's Jamie Presley's boyfriend, fiance, whatever. And she goes down and sucks his dick. And he is happy about that. And really, why wouldn't he? He probably knows Jamie Presley's fucking around. So, if she's fucking her stepdaddy, why shouldn't he fuck her mama? And he didn't even fuck her. It was just head, which according to, Outcast, that doesn't count, right? I don't know. Fuck you, Mr. Andre 3000. It counts. Getting head from a girl in a different state still counts as cheating. Now, Jamie's mama comes home, and she lets Jamie know, oh, hey, I just fucked your boyfriend. Oh, by the way, I wore your jacket while doing it, and I got some of his cum on it. Sorry. Oh, and to add further insult to injury, I used your diaphragm. I guess. I don't know. I've never actually seen a diaphragm. But she throws something at Jamie and says, like, I used it. You better wash it before you use it again. And it's like a cup. So I think it's a diaphragm. some form of birth control. And I just gotta say, it's just fucking trashy as hell. Just, like, is this something that really happens? It's had to have happened at some point. Because I'm of the belief that as long as human civilization has gone and the amount of people who have been on this earth from the beginning of time, any possible thing that could have happened has happened. At least on like on a micro scale, not like a big major thing, but any like minor thing you could think that happens. So something like a stepmom, or not a stepmom, a mom using her daughter's diaphragm. I believe that it has happened at least once or twice in the history of human civilization. Just statistically speaking, it's had to have happened. And then we cut to see Jerry Springer, and he's having sex while an episode of his show is on, which is almost as trashy. But, hey, you gotta do it. Sometimes you gotta fuck while you're on TV yourself. It's a thing. Then those producers call Jamie's mama and lets them know, like, they've been selected to go on the Jerry Springer show. And they're very excited. At least Jamie mama and Jamie Presley herself are very excited. Creepy douchey stepdaddy, he's a little reluctant. He's not even sure why they're going on. I mean, put two and two together there, dude. You're fucking your wife's daughter, and now she's taking you on Jerry Springer. What could it be for? I did nothing wrong. But unfortunately, since he stole the money from Jamie's mama to bail Jamie Presley out, he's gonna have to go, or else Jamie's gonna spill the secrets. Now, discount Jada Pinkett Smith. Hey, remember her from earlier? She's telling her friend that they've also been picked for the Jerry Springer show, and they're all excited. Woo! Trip to LA. And they get on the plane, and discount Jada Pinkett Smith starts rapping about being on the plane. No line about being fly. Because I don't know if you've ever watched Class Act. It's basically House Party, but instead of a house party, Kid and Play are in college. But there's like a whole like talk about like basically like ebonics, verbiage, and all that. And the nerdy guy asked the cool hip guy, like, well, if I'm on the plane, would I be fly? And the cool guy says, like, depends on what you're wearing. Funny stuff. So I just wish that, there was a bee fly in her rap. But as far as raps about flying on a plane go, I guess I've heard worse. So now they're backstage at the Jerry Springer show, and all the different people from different groups are there, because I think they tape like 15 episodes a day all at once. So if you ever notice, like, a lot of times, like, there'd be the title, and that would be like the main story, and then they would toss in like another story towards the end that had like absolutely nothing to do with anything. Just kind of, they couldn't fit it anywhere else in the show, I guess, on any other episode, so they just kind of shove it in. So, but discount Jada Pinkett Smith's man is staring at Jamie Presley, and she's turning her head looking at him, like, and they're giving each other the eyes, and like, oh yeah, she may be a redneck hick, but she's down for some BBC. And Jada Pinkett Smith, or discount Jada Pinkett Smith, sees this, and she's like, hey, Linda Blair, turn your head around some more, and I'll give you an exorcism. Actual quote. And I fucking love it. I love me some sassy black woman. And that was a great line, okay? I will freely admit that line made me laugh out loud. I LOL'd IRL in real life. If you don't know, if you're an old person listening to my podcast and you don't understand internet abbreviations, I laughed out loud in real life. Jerry pops in to say hi, and everyone's all excited because he's a bona fide celeb, so it's awesome. We actually got to see Jerry, and we're going to see him again in a few minutes when we go on stage. And he retires back to his office to do whatever he has to do. And Jane Presley follows him, and she's all like, "Can you sign my autograph book?" Which is that a real thing? I've always heard like autograph book, but who gets an autograph book? Like, do you think you're gonna meet that many celebrities that you're gonna need like a book to contain all their autographs? 'Cause I think like throughout my life, I'm probably gonna meet like two or three celebrities at most. I don't know if I need an autograph book, but he signs it, and then his mama, or her mama, not Jerry's mama. I'd like to meet Jerry's mama. That'd be interesting. They should bring her into this film. But Jamie's mama comes by and she's like, "Well, I want an autograph too. I ain't got an autograph book. So can you sign my shirt across the chest while I'm wearing it? Obviously not wearing a bra." Only for this scene though. Very weird that clearly like her nipples are poking out in this scene, and then in every other scene where we don't have pokies. So did she take her bra off specifically for when she got the shirt signed and then put it back on? These are the questions I ask. You know, other film reviewers, all other movie podcasters, they don't stop and think. You know, they don't think about these things, although they should. And so, where was I going? What happens next? So she goes off and she sees that Jamie's now making out with the black man. And, you know, she's not upset that her daughter's like making out with this like super handsome stud, because she's not racist. In fact, she wants a piece of that. She's like, "What are you doing with my daughter that you ain't doing with me?" And Black Stud, he's like, I could go in for some of this mother-daughter action. But Jamie's mama then goes back to the green room. So for now, Black Stud has to just settle for making out with Jamie Presley and not with both of them. Now, Jerry's trying to do an interview. Unfortunately, it keeps getting interrupted because discount Jada Pinkett Smith is roaming the halls, yelling for Big Stud, because she can't find him, but she knows that he's trying to mack it with Jamie Presley. She is right. And she's mad because, you know, if Big Stud's gonna go do a white woman, don't go with that skanky ass hoe. Her words. And so they fight, but there's no yells of Jerry, Jerry, because they're not on camera in front of the audience. It's just in the hall. So they get a big pull apart, but I don't know. I think maybe they'll decide, hey, let's combine these two stories because they are different stories, and maybe just have them fight on air. Now, Jerry gets stopped in the elevator by some of the black women. It feels bad to say that, but here's the thing. With most of these movies I do, like, there isn't really, like, much that distinguishes, like, characters. So the only thing that distinguishes this group of girls from the other group of girls is that they're black. So just roll with it. And they're fawning over Jerry, and Jerry just looks embarrassed. Because he always looks embarrassed, if you've ever noticed. Because he knows he does not belong on TV. He should not be a celebrity. There is just nothing worthwhile of him to be famous. There's no reason he should be famous. He knows that, and that's why he walks around in a state of perpetual embarrassment. Like, I should not be here. Where have I gone wrong with my life? And Jamie Presley's stepdaddy, he's all mad because they're going to embarrass him on TV, so he wants to leave, but Mama is like, you do, then this marriage is over. And Jamie Presley's like, yeah, and you can stop fucking me. Well, not an exact quote, but that's the basis and gist, and he's trying to get Jamie Presley's fiance to go leave with him, and I don't know, I stopped paying attention, so I don't know what they did. Because I think I'm at the halfway point of the movie, which is usually where I start checking out of these movies. Because, yeah, I don't care about any of these characters. And Jerry's not helping me out because he's embarrassed. He knows what a terrible movie he's in. And instead of just rolling with the punches, he's like, why? Where did my life go wrong? I should not be famous for this stupid show, and I should not be famous enough that I get a movie based on my stupid show. To further add to Jerry's embarrassment, his manager decks him out in a cowboy suit, like fucking like rhinestone cowboy, and he has to go sing at a club. Or I don't know if he has to sing or he just has to go show up at the club, because we cut away from that. Which that might have actually been entertaining to hear Jerry Springer sing, because I think he does have a country album, doesn't he? I feel like he might have been a country singer at some point. I could be completely wrong. Maybe I'll, Google that. I won't, but maybe I will. And so then Big Black Stud, he decides, you know what? I want to fuck Jamie Presley. Which, again, I don't blame him. I can't find fault with his logic there. I find fault with him going through with it, A, being in a relationship, and B, her being in a relationship. But, B is kind of on her as well, because she says, yes, I want some of that big black cock. So that part is on her. She's in a relationship, and she's already cheating on her fiance with her stepdaddy, and so she's cheating on both of them now with Big Black Stud. And that's just wrong. And Discount Jada Pinkett Smith is pretty sure that's what Big Black Stud went off to do. So she's just roaming the hotels looking for him and complaining about some flat-ass skanky cracker hoe. And you know what? Discount Jada Pinkett Smith, she doesn't have much of an ass herself. So I don't think she should go around complaining about a flat-ass white girl. Because her ass, she don't got a badunk-a-dunk. Is that shallow of me to complain? I have no issue with the fact that she has no ass, just that she's claiming another girl has no ass. And girls in no-ass houses shouldn't throw stones at other girls in no-ass houses. That is... Let's make that a thing. Let's make that a statement. Girls with no asses shouldn't throw stones at other girls with no asses. Just saying. But while Jamie Presley is fucking the big black cock, in walks in her boyfriend. And he's just devastated and embarrassed and devastated. And I feel bad for him. I mean, yeah, he fucked her mom, but she kind of forced it upon him, and this was after Jamie Presley was already cheating on her and making her mom a cuckold. Can women be cuckolds? Possibly. I see no reason why they can't be. Oh, sweet, we are getting Rhinestone Cowboy Jerry Springer singing. And I have to say it's not bad. Not good. But as far as like modern pop country, at least of the 90s goes, it's, I think, on par with like Rascal Skaggs or whoever. Rascal Flatts. They are awful. Maybe. I don't even know if I'm thinking of the right group. Just all of that shit is awful. Good country, like 70s outlaw country. Give me that. Fucking pop country that happened in the 90s. And I mean, Garth Brooks wasn't even all that bad, but just the torrential downpour he unleashed. Where am I going with this? Man, I'm just all over the place because fuck this movie. So Discount Jada Pinkett Smith and her friends decide they're going to go out drinking, and Jamie Presley's mama decides she's going to go out drinking. And you know what? I think I'm going to go drinking because that's probably the only way I can get through this. Now, Big Black Stud, he's getting dressed and he's getting ready to leave, and Jamie Presley looks at him and asks if he'll call her, and he says he will. But she knows it's a lie. I mean, Of course it's going to be a lie. Like, what is she expecting? Is she expecting, like, that there's going to be a long distance relationship between the two? It's not like they live near each other. But she realizes it, and she looks like she's questioning her life choices. Meanwhile, her fiance is out getting drunk on the cheapest whiskey possible. Because, yeah, I mean, he probably doesn't have a lot of money to buy the high-end shit. But when you're depressed because your girl is fucking someone else, I was about to say fucking a black guy, but it has nothing to do with that it's a black guy. It's just that it's someone else who looks better than you and is in better shape and probably has a bigger dick than you. Those are the issues. So you find out that your girl is fucking someone better looking, more muscular, with a bigger dick than you. Then yeah, you want the cheapest whiskey. You don't want high-end booze. And then Big Black Stud heads back to the hotel, and Jamie Presley's mom is there, and she starts trying to make a move on him, and, you know, it's like, hey, don't you want to fuck a mother and daughter in the same day? Which, hey, that's close to the Holy Grail. I mean, you've got mother-daughter team and twins is probably like the Holy Grails of fucking. You know, I mean, if you're like a douchebag frat boy type of guy, that's got to be your two Holy Grails. And if you could somehow combine them, and either the mother or the daughter is a set of twins, or like the impossible Holy Grail, you fuck twin sisters and their daughters, one set of which is a pair of twins. And you fuck them all at once. That is to be like the fucking Holy Grail of holiest holes. Has that happened? Going back to my earlier theory, yes, that has had to have fucking happened at some point. We need to find the guy that fucked a pair of twins along with their daughters, at least one set of which was twins. If it was two sets of twins, oh my god, how many, like 6 girls, 3 sets of twins, one set is the mother to the other 2 sets of twins. Or something. I don't know. A lot of fucking twins. That is the fucking Holy Grail. That is the holiest of holes of grails. So much that I've like lost track. Some other stuff happens. Really, doesn't even fucking matter. Shit happens and people are fucking each other, and I'm just thinking about twins and their mothers who are twins. And just, I give up. Now, the next morning, Big Black Stud is trying to tell his girlfriend, oh, I was out at an all-night Bible study. Dude, you knew you were going to go fuck Jamie Presley. You didn't have, like, an ready-made alibi? Something at least plausible? Because you probably don't go to Bible study at home. Is she really going to believe, oh yeah, you were at an all-night Bible study in L.A.? Does such a thing even happen in L.A.? L.A. is a fucking heathen city. They don't pray there. Unless, you know, they're praying for one of their, like, sports teams. I don't even... Who do they have? The Lakers. They're praying for the Lakers to win the championship. That's the only thing they pray for. So maybe if you had said that you were an all-night praying for the Lakers to win the championship session, I could believe you. Meanwhile, the producers are trying to figure out, can we do a I slept with my stepdaddy episode without the stepdaddy? And they figure, sure, why not? Does anyone care as long as people fight? And of course there are fights. Because apparently Jamie Presley is pregnant with stepdaddy's baby, and that's why she wants to get married, so that they could pretend it's his, even though apparently they've never fucked. Her and the fiance. They've never fucked, so it's not his baby. It's stepdaddy's baby, but they gotta pretend that it's his baby, and he's got a job at Walmart, so he can take care of the baby. Which, causes fight where Jamie Presley's trying to slap him around, and then he points out that, he saw her fucking big black stud, who is in the front row of the audience, which makes his girlfriend, discount Jada Pinkett Smith, go all pissed off and crazy. So she attacks Jamie Presley, even though who she should attack is Big Black Stud. And yeah, I mean, Jamie Presley isn't innocent in all this, but Big Black Stud fucking cheated on you and then tried to claim that it was an all-night prayer session. He's the one whose ass you kick. That's how it works. Yeah, there's plenty of time to kick Jamie Presley's ass later because, she knew that he was in a relationship and had a girlfriend, so she also is in the wrong. But first you kick the ass of your significant other. Then you kick the ass of the person they cheated on you with. The fighting goes on for a while, and, the breakups and the yelling of, Jerry, Jerry. And Steve Wilkos isn't there, so this must have been before he joined the show. Which, I don't know, feels kind of weird. I just kind of assumed he was always there before he got his own spin-off show. But yeah, then creepy stepdaddy douchebag. He's watching it all from home on his TV, which is kind of weird because I'm pretty sure the Jerry Springer Show doesn't air live. So if he's watching it on TV, all of this has already happened and everyone's back home by now, I imagine. I think there's a bit of a turnaround between taping episodes and them actually getting on the air. So I do think that they're probably home by now if he's watching on TV. And maybe they are. And they just decide not to go to his house because fuck him, that fucking asshole. So Jamie Presley and her mama are backstage and they have a heart-to-heart and they forgive each other and all that jazz, and I'm just kind of tuning out. I don't care. They're happy. That's all that matters, right? And so they go back to the show and Jerry's trying to give his final thoughts. But then this crazy preacher evangelist guy pops up. And he's like, you're all sinners, and you're going to hell, and fornicators, and other buzzwords that they like to say. But Jerry sticks up for these people, and he tells the evangelistic guy, these are the real people, and, they may not be fancy, but they come out here, and they're pouring their hearts out and letting us into their lives, and blah, 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 and the guy's taken away. Too bad Steve Wilkos isn't there to punch the guy. I don't know if Steve Wilkos has ever punched anyone on the show, but yeah. And so this is a moment of clarity for everyone, and the black girls decide they're not going to do the show because their bond is bond. Their bond is word, right? Their word is bond. Who knows? They just decide they can't go through with it because they love each other too much. And Jamie Presley's fiance and Big Black Stud, they make amends, and everything's cool with them. And then Jamie Presley and her mama go and get a picture taken with Jerry. And it's a rather sweet moment, I guess. Maybe. Now, Jamie Presley and her mama are at the bar, at the hotel bar, and on the TV is another episode of Jerry Springer. What? Okay, I watched back in the day. The show was fucking syndicated. It was not live, and it was not on all day, even at the height of its popularity. Still just one episode. You'd watch that, then you probably before or after Maury, and then you get a whole bunch of judge shows. That's how it worked. And I think that's still how it works. I think that's still the syndicated block. Maury, Jerry, now the Steve Wilkos Show, and a bunch of judge shows. But this episode of the Jerry that they're watching on TV would not really go over too well these days. It's about a man who dresses like a woman and has sex with men while pretending to be a woman. And, well, I don't know, because, I mean, it seems offensive, but now that I stop and think about it, this man isn't trans. He's just a fucking liar. So he's like kind of scum because he doesn't, at least from what we see in the show, he's not identifying as a woman. He's just dressing up with as a woman for the sake of having sex with a man, pretending to be a woman, and not being upfront about it. And somehow, apparently, the men don't realize it. As with one of Jerry's staff members, slept with him, thinking it was a her, and didn't realize it. And this guy, like, he strips down to his underwear. And I gotta say, really, if you didn't know it was a man, conceivably a butterface. Like, okay, like the face is kind of manly, but the body kind of looks like a good, like, not a great female body, but if you're into like kind of the petite bodies, like this guy is doing a hell of a tuck job. I just gotta say, like, there's no like bulge there, so I could see maybe why at first glance you wouldn't realize it's a guy, and he somehow has done it so well. Obviously, he's only gonna do anal, right? Because unless he's gone through the operation, it's just pure anal on his part, and just try to, be tucked so that the guy doesn't feel the dick as, I don't know. This is like a realm I am not like familiar with, of having sex with a guy who's pretending to be a woman, so he has to tuck to the point where you can't tell that he's got a dick. That is kind of beyond my point of knowledge. And I've watched a lot of porn. So while I don't have personal life experiences, I don't have the porn viewing experience on how that works. So Jamie Presley and Mama are back home, and they drop off the fiance, who I think is now being kicked out of their lives, and he's no longer going to be a fiance. And he looks very sad, and I feel bad for him. This guy was gonna like stand up, like step up to the plate, be a man, and take care of a baby that wasn't his, because I assume because he loved Jamie Presley. I don't know. They never actually really like got into whether, they had any like affection for each other. But I think he like cared about her. She didn't care about him so much, but he cared about her, and he was gonna be there, and he was gonna support that baby with his Walmart job. And nothing against Walmart jobs. This film, like, which I don't know, I guess like 20 years ago, like, was a Walmart job like really looked on as like, ugh, that's the lowest of the low. And I guess it still kind of is, because, it's a minimum wage job. But there's nothing wrong with working at Walmart to support your family. Working any job for the sake of supporting your family is not shameful. I mean, sex work is probably preferable to Walmart work, in my opinion. But some other people will think like Walmart is better than doing sex work. I think there's nothing wrong with either one. But anyhow, there's a new neighbor that's moved into the trailer park, and he is a fucking stud. He's like huge and muscular and long blonde hair. Kind of Fabio, but not Fabio. And yeah, he's a total stud, which means Jamie Presley and her mama, they want some of that action. And you know what? Unlike Big Black Stud, I think that this guy, this hunky stud guy, yeah, he's going for the mother-daughter team. And that was Ringmaster. And I guess in ode of Jerry Springer, this is my final thought. The movie sucked. Like, dear Lord, it sucked. It's not even like a fun suckage of this film. Like, it was not fun to watch at all. Like, not even like making fun of it, because it was just painful. And I mean, I haven't watched Jerry Springer in a long time, but there was always a fun, like, trashy element to it. And it was like kind of about like, feeling superior to these people. So it was nice seeing Jerry Springer stand up for them in that one scene. Because, yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is that show exists for you to feel superior to them, which is probably why I wouldn't be able to watch it nowadays. Because I'm no longer that person of like, yeah, like my life sucks and I'm a loser, but at least I'm not one of these people. I've learned empathy in my years. So I can't like make fun of these people because they're trashy and make horrible life decisions. Even though, I mean, I guess if they're making horrible life decisions, you should be able to make fun of them, right? I mean, if they're like cheating around and, sleeping around and being just awful people of pretending to be women, but are really men and don't tell the men that they sleep with that they're really men, because there's nothing wrong with a man pretending to be a woman to sleep with men. But the man that is slept with, he should know. He should be given that option of like, okay, this is a man pretending to be a woman. I'm down with that. I will still tap that ass. You should just knowledge. I don't know. Does that count as rape? Because you're fucking like lying. I think that could really be considered rape. If not, I'm pretty sure it's something illegal. I mean, it's completely unethical. I am stuck on that. That is really annoying me. 'Cause this movie fucking annoyed me. Uh, but yeah, I am moving on for the sake of not having an aneurysm. velvetout@hotmail.com or leave a comment if you're on the YouTube page if you want to leave comments. Because why else would you leave a comment unless you wanted to leave a comment? But you can give your thoughts or if you want to request a movie for me to watch. And who knows? The movie you request might be the lucky one that gives me a embolism. Is that a word? Is that whatever. My brain is broken. See you guys next time. Except I'm not actually seeing you because this is completely audio. And even if it was video, I wouldn't be seeing you. You would be seeing me. So it's kind of weird. I still want to say see you next time, but there is no scene involved. So I guess until next time. And I want to thank the Living Brain Dead for providing the official theme song for Velvet Owl Watches Movies So You Don't Have to. It's called Never Fuck With Catgirls, and you can get it at livingbraindead.com, which you should totally do. They are not paying me for this, so I shilled them out of my love for the music.